Welcome back to the special edition of the weekly news roundup from an undisclosed location with no cellular internet. This is going to be a little bit interesting. I am recording this on a laptop and I don't have any internet right now, so hopefully the stories I pulled up from inside the lodge and carried over here will all translate through. Also, forgive any blips or whatever that shows up on the laptop and any oddness in the audio as I forgot my microphone mount, so I just have a microphone sitting right here. So we'll just go ahead and keep that right on over there, and we will jump in so you guys can have a little bit of a weekly news roundup, a little bit abbreviated as well. First and foremost, the Discord server was apparently trashed. Nobody was banned. It was either when I told people stop fighting about current medical conditions and talk to your healthcare provider, or it was when I sent publicly available information privately to a friend. One of those two got the entire Discord server completely deleted. And my entire Discord account too, by the way. I'm appealing it, but I don't think I'm going to see anything on that. But anyway, stay tuned. Next couple weeks, we will go ahead and throw up a Matrix room instead because, decentralized open source. Why not? But let's go ahead and jump on into the news. And first up in the news, we have a little bit of Facebook information. So Facebook advertisers are panicking because iOS cuts off the key tracking data. This is the information that is kind of tied right on into changing the privacy requirements, telling people what is actually going on, and forcing people to make a choice. Would you like Facebook giving you, stealing all of your data and using that against you, or would you rather not? It turns out, shock of all shocks, most people, they really don't want to see personalized ads that are so insane that, and that's kind of what's happening. Now, the link in here, it says here, according to some advertisers, this is a Twitter link, and if you were to follow that Twitter link, you see a bunch of people saying, yeah, you know what? The Facebook ads are not being as quite as good, quite as profitable right now. And so this in and of itself is a little bit of a challenge. I forgot to turn that light off there. That is a little bit of a challenge so that the Facebook ads are not as good as they were before, at least for most advertisers, because lo and behold, if you tell people, hey, we're going to perpetually spy on you or we're going to not spy on you, they tend to like not being spied on. Who'd have thunk it? Well, the other piece of Facebook news is that Facebook satellite internet joins with Amazon to produce an internet. Now, this goes back, if you remember, to what Facebook was trying to do a while back is create this own internet. It was kind of like AOL. It was sort of an internet type access that you could get in there and you could do some of the internet type work, but everything filtered through Facebook, which meant that Facebook had all of this data and you could only go to sites that Facebook had approved. Now, these were targeted towards third world countries that did not have access to the internet. So basically the entire internet these people would know or ever know were all directly tied to Facebook. That is very interesting. So over here, dozens of employees switched companies, and what's happening is Amazon is acquiring these people who had worked on this Facebook internet so that Amazon can start working on its larger scale internet project, much like Elon Musk has been doing. This in some ways could be a positive as long as it is a free and open internet. It appears Musk's is a free and open internet. What Facebook was trying to do is not a free and open internet. So that really is your discrepancy there, your change. And with that, pretty much everything else here is Amazon privacy news. Amazon's becoming this really frightening company here. So FCC grants Amazon permission to develop a radar-based sleep tracker. That's right, guys. You will now have the ability to put a device in your bedroom that will track your sleep by radar. This is creepy. This is just adding to the sky. No doubt that this device is also going to be connected to Sidewalk. You know, Rob Braxton was right. Here we have Sidewalk coming in. So quality sleep is hard to come by in modern era. I mean, forgive the fact that I'm recording this at like 6 a.m. and I've been up since like 5. Not typical for me, but you know what? That's type of things happens when you're on undisclosed location in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And apparently one of my articles just kind of vanished on me. Oh well, we'll figure that out later. Hopefully they don't all vanish on me, because that will kind of suck. But nevertheless, I'm not necessarily having a hard time with sleep technology personally. You just got to get in there and work on whatever needs to be worked on. My internet's doing, like, the web browser's doing weird things. Web browsers do weird things when you're not connected to the internet. Anyway, they say quality sleep is hard to come by in the modern era due to no small part to the rapid advances in technology and the releases of smartphones, which can keep us up far later than we like. Now, I want to dispel a little myth. It's not the blue light coming, oh my god, it's the blue light, it's the blue light. No, it's the fact that you guys are attached to your smartphone playing either addictive video games or playing with addictive social media. Whether or not you use your cell phone at night, it has nothing to do with blue light. I've actually done studies on this. Blue light doesn't do anything. I work in front of computers until I go to sleep at night. I never have any problem sleeping whatsoever. I'm just not sitting there doing addictive stuff before going to bed. You know, dopamine is an interesting thing. We have to watch out for that kind of stuff. However, Amazon might have a solution to the problem of poor sleep. The FCC has granted the company permission to develop a product that uses radar tech to monitor its sleeping patterns and assist with hands-free device control. What are we doing? Are we going to do one of these? This is not the sleep radar you are searching for. I don't know. Very interesting. So, typically, FCC has placed rules in place that would block companies from developing and selling consumer devices with unlicensed radar tech inside. But, you know, Amazon's like, hey, FCC, you want a pile of cash? And so, yeah, they granted a waiver of its rules in this case, since it did the same for Google back in 2018 with the Pixel smartphones. Amazon's radar device will operate with identical power levels and technical parameters to Google's. A bonus in the FCC's eyes, Amazon's products will require a direct connection to a power source, limiting their mobility, thus representing a much narrower setting. I'm saying this from a fully electrically equipped van in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's so much mobile power in this place, you can choke a horse with it all. But anyway, they want to collect, store, and log all of our sleeping data because, yeah, Amazon's creepy, yo. And our final story in privacy tonight is Amazon is now working on an Alexa wearable for kids. GPS and some other type of integration with Kids Plus, Amazon Kids Plus. So, Alexa is already creepy. Alexa is already part of Skynet, as Rob Braxton has called it, and I agree with his assessment. So with this now, Amazon is working on Alexa for children that is tied to their Amazon Plus account. And it's a wearable. It's a smartwatch. Nothing like getting our children addicted to smartwatches earlier in life to the point where they are so tied in and becoming so integrated with talking to your computers, with sending their voice print data. Remember, Alexa is one of those companies that was recording and does record the voice data being used and transmit this to third world country contractors to clarify and verify what is going on. Now, maybe if we flip through this article, they'll say, well, this is going to be more private. Baloney. I will believe it's more private when I see more privacy coming out of it. But with that in mind, Amazon toyed with yet another way of integrating itself into the lives of you and your family through the Alexa-enabled wearables for kids. The device is considered for Amazon's 2020 product lineup, but I guess it wasn't there yet. The $99 wearable codenamed Seeker. Oh, that's all we need! A smart GPS-tracked voice print enabled data collecting device for our children called Seeker. You may as well call it the Pedo Watch. I mean, really. Would repeatedly feature GPS voice activation, presumably some kind of Alexa features, to be targeted for children ages 4 to 12. That's all we need. Our 4-year-olds wearing smart GPS tracking, voice tracking, data, Amazon Prime crap. That, people, is terrifying. Bloomberg writes the wearables could have the wearables could have come as a clip, a keychain, or a wristband. The goal seemed to be developing exclusive Amazon Plus content, formerly Amazon Free Time Unlimited, allowing parents to track and communicate with their kids. Oh, joy. Your 4-year-olds, if you need to track and communicate your 4-year-olds, you're a bad parent. 12-year-olds, we're getting a little there, but maybe not. Maybe your 12-year-old child should not go into the world in such places where you need to track and communicate with them at all times. Oh boy, oh boy. Amazon reportedly also worked with Disney on a wearable called the Magic Band. Oh joy, what is this creature we're looking at? Quoting from Princess Bride, "Dear Lord, what is that thing?" I hope I have that quote right. But anyway, there we have it, guys. We have Amazon now wanting to seek out your children, which is kind of creepy. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, have a look over at our affiliates of Linode, in this case, tlm.li/Linode. You can use our Linode affiliate link there. You can get $100 in credit. This is good for 60 days. You can spin up a whole lot of things. You can do VPS, you can do Nextcloud, websites, all sorts of things. They have lots of community scripts. Everything is pretty much ready to go. So very good, very excellent service over there at Linode. Now let's have a look at a couple of security articles. First, there was yet another Solarwinds. Pardon me, I was reading the article, didn't scroll back to the top. Solarwinds has another 0-day. Maybe we should stop using Solarwinds. Maybe defense contractors should stop using it. So, 0-day for Solarwinds gave Chinese hackers privileged access to customer servers. They are actually utilizing botnets of infected routers and other IoT devices. Yet another reason to keep IoT off of the internet. Microsoft said the China-based hackers with a history of attacking software companies and the U.S. defense industry exploited a 0-day vulnerability in SolarWinds. They said Monday, after receiving notification from Microsoft that it had discovered a previously unknown vulnerability in the SolarWinds Server U product line was under active exploit. Austin, Texas-based SolarWinds provided no details about the threat actor behind the attacks or how their attack worked. We do know that commercial VPNs and compromised consumer routers are part of this. So commercial VPNs, that is a little bit frightening. We would probably like to see a list of those, but that's, a little terrifying. Here's just some of the logging information that has been found to this. We have connections to these IP addresses on the screen here. You have some Windows temp files there. You can see suspicious errors in debug socket files, a few other things. You can read here, it appears mostly to be Windows applications. So there you have, maybe switch to Linux. There you go. I had to get one in. I know, you'll have to forgive me for that one. But anyway, you can find this guy here. I will, by the way, have the articles probably directly linked. We're not going to do a separate link on the website at SwitchedToLinux.com this week because I am out for the week in the middle of an undisclosed location with no cellular access anywhere. I have to go into this one little spot to get any little bit of internet access. And I'm just not going to do a whole lot more than this. And I do have some great business articles, but I think I'm going to try and do that one record that one later on. Anyway, on to our last story for the day. There is yet another WooCommerce patch. This actually irritated me a little bit because WooCommerce like, we have a patch, but they're not telling anybody anything about it other than we've patched it and we've pushed it live to all 60 plus supported versions. But they didn't tell us any information. They said, well, if you're concerned, change your passwords. This is not useful information. They're like, well, it's good because this was released so quick, it was fixed so quick. I'm very glad it was fixed so quick, but I would really like to see what information happened here, because I do manage several WooCommerce stores and I need to know, do I need to take time out of my vacation right now to verify all these are done? Or is this something that we can probably wait a day or two and I'll get to it when I actually get back to a place with internet? Where I, am not confined to a box. And the good news is it is patched. It was patched within 24 hours of being alerted to it, but I cannot find anything about this thing. Now, I'm on vacation. I didn't necessarily scour the entirety of the internet, but WooCommerce had no information. This article came out about a day or two after the patch was released. Maybe it was the day, maybe this was the day the patch was released. And they're all praising WooCommerce for their speed, and that is good. It is very good to have speed in fixing these things, but some information about what's going on would be a little bit helpful. So I need to know, is this something I need to stop and work on right this second, or is this something that we can wait on? Well, I didn't pull up the website, but you can help support the channel over on Subscribestar. We are on subscribestar.com/switched-to-Linux. That is a great way to help support the site. And with that, guys, thanks for watching. We may or may not be back to normal schedule next week. I will be at a conference next week. As long as there is cellular internet, we will attempt to do the show as normal. If there is not cellular internet, then I will have to do another, patch job sort of like this, but I'm going to try and do a little bit better of a patch job. It's 5 in the morning. I wasn't sure I was going to get to this or not. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you soon. Thank you for watching this video from Switched-to-Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.